This is my new drone. Is it the third or fourth one? And some of you were asking what kind of equipment do I use to record the movies. I thought I'd do a quick video this week about the equipment I use. The image, the audio, and the editing. Fantastic. I haven't seen it yet. And the Mavic Pro. But we look at that thing here at the end. Let's check the basics first. Cameras. The camera I'm recording with right now is a Canon 70D. I'm actually using the Neistat setup with a Gorilla Pod. You can use it for selfies, or you can put it wherever you want. Right here, as I said, is the 70D. I use it with an ultrasonic lens. Learning from Casey, you have an issue with autofocusing with these small cameras. Here you have a super fast autofocus. Most of the videos are done with this guy. On the road, I usually film with one of these guys. And no matter what, I use a lot of these tripods here, but I'm also using, as you can see here, a travel tripod, which is easy to carry. What is important, I sometimes have videos where I'm standing like in front of a building, or I do a spontaneous interview, and I like standing in front of the camera, that you have a tripod that allows you to stand and it has your height. I also have a GoPro and I have the drone. I don't use too many drone material. That's not necessary for every movie. So there is a fantastic movie made by Simon Cade, DSLR guide, and he explains like when to shoot with a drone and when not. I will link that below right now. If you want to start, I would suggest go with the newest G7X Mark II. So this guy here, 24 frames per second, like the big one, which gives you the cinematic view. You can have a pretty low aperture with this one here. That's a wide angle, so you can see in the background as much as you can see in the front. If you use one of these guys here, the background is blurry. Just because it's a blurry background, it's not a professional image. So find your own way of setup. But I would say you can definitely start with one of these small guys. That's enough. You don't need the big one. If you have the big one though, you can change lenses. For example, using a 24mm lens with a 2.8 aperture, which gives you a crisper image on the big one. I will link one of the videos I just made with that one. I have some LED lights, but that's not super sophisticated. I would say you can look on Amazon for some of these LED lights. I would have some light with me because usually it's a bit too dark to record, but I'm not a lighting professional. There are better guys out there, but if you have tips on lighting, very happy to have them. Let's talk about audio. This is, by the way, my backpack I'm carrying all the time because I have all the audio equipment here. Let's have a look at this. DSLR audio is usually really, really bad. The mic on top of the DSLR, this one there, that's a Rode VideoMic Pro. And this is a Sennheiser video mic. These are both, now you can see the difference between the small camera, the G7X, and the 70D, the speed of the autofocus. So the Rode VideoMic Pro, it has fantastic sound, but as soon as you have the interference of a phone in the background, you hear the typical and your audio is destroyed. And now I came up with a small one, the Sennheiser, which has not better audio. I would say it's worse audio than the Rode. You don't have this interference from the phone, so it's much more reliable if you're outside. And you can also buy these so-called dead cats. This guy here on top, this is for the wind. For the interviews, Rode VideoMic Link, and these mics are really good. They only record the sound here. So whatever happens there, you cannot hear, or you hear a little bit, but not too much. So that's a very crisp audio. But what I just did last week, I bought the Zoom One, which is a cheap audio recorder. You can use it as an audio recorder even like this, like without anything attached. But with a little adapter, you can also attach the Rode Link video mic. And I record this whole video on that guy here, so you should get an idea what the sound is like. Then you're much cheaper than I am with my Rode Link. And as I said, audio is quite important, so whenever you're on the road, I would always recommend having a mic like this, which you can even then attach to your phone and then record your movie. I love good image quality, but I learned that the audio is super important. For the editing, third part, I'm using right now Adobe Premiere Pro, and I will do a separate video about how I edit, because my company Blackboard improves how people work and collaborate, shortcuts and how to work faster on programs. So I have my very own keyboard setup to be faster in editing on Adobe Premiere Pro. I also have Final Cut. How should you decide? I would say if you start doing videos, go with Final Cut. You pay $300 once. Not as bad as people usually say. Of course, if you're a professional and you want all the effects, fine, but you can do a lot with Final Cut. The biggest difference is Final Cut is very fast in you gotta make a movie ready and it's rendering in the background and you have it uploaded in almost no time. If you use Premiere Pro, you have more options in like making details, making color grading and so on, doing some animations. But the rendering takes a long time. Big advantage though, when you, let's say, record a movie of an interview and you want to have two people editing that stuff. Like you share all the media on 2 hard drives, give that to both people, and then you can send back and forth the Premiere Pro file, which is very small because it just contains the information of how you edited the material. Does that make sense? Final Cut is a bit less advanced on that. You can also do that, but from my experience, it's not that smooth of a process, and much more professionals work with Premiere Pro. And if you run the Adobe Cloud anyways, it comes with it. And now I would say, let's look at this guy. Okay. This is the Mavic Pro. I don't do too much drone stuff in my movies, but what I definitely do, I carry around my cameras and I usually put out my cameras no matter where I am, no matter how cold it is, no matter how hot it is. And I had the Phantom before this one. Now, the big advantage with this guy, as you can see, you can put it in like a tiny bag like this one here, to be with you on the road, which I think is the most important thing actually compared to anything else. It has the gimbal, this thing here, has sensors that will keep the height. What you want is you want to fly over a landscape or, for example, walk by or walk with you or walk behind you. That's actually what you can use drones for, or what I use drones for. Und? Sold?
Haben wollen.
Haben. This is my setup. This is what I film with. I love doing that. I love editing, I love the filming. That was a different kind of work tools video, I know, but I hope it was helpful to you. And if you like that stuff, please subscribe. And I see you next week for the next video. Thanks.